Hey friends, you are crafting with Kim Byers, and today we are making something really super simple and so cute for Halloween. So I host a Halloween party every year, and I like to display our candies and treats and things in different ways. And so this year I'm making a jack-o'-lantern candy dish, and then I'm gonna fill it with all things orange. So I'm gonna hop over to Cricut Design Space. I'll show you what we're gonna do, and then we'll go over to the craft table and we'll put it all together. And if you like what I'm doing here today, guys, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you join me for all my future videos. And by the way, down below in the description, I have a link to my weekly newsletter, and I do put free cut files or free printables in it every week. So I would love for you to hop down and join me on that as well. Okay guys, let's get going. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I just opened up a new blank canvas, and I've already chosen a face, and I wanted to go super simple, but if you wanted to do spooky or scary or funny, there's tons of different choices in Cricut Design Space that you can grab. So all you need to do is go over into Images, and once here, I went ahead and typed in jack-o'-lantern face in my search bar, and then you just scroll through and see the different ones that you want. And I have chosen mine, but you could, if you wanted to pick one of these faces that actually has the outline of the pumpkin and you pull that in, I just wanted to show you this really quickly. You can use the contour tool to eliminate anything you don't want. So you see it's just one cut, so you can't turn it off here in layers, but what you can do is go over into contour, and let's just minimize this a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, and we would just want to get rid of the outside piece, right? We just want, there we go, we just want the face. So now we close out of that, and see, so now we only have the face, and then you can just resize that to whatever you need. So I'm going to delete this real quick. So what I want to do is I have gone ahead and measured my jar, and I can go with about 4 inches wide, and so I went ahead and resized that. But if you need to resize the one that you choose, if you go up into more and just make sure this little lock is on, and then you just change it to whatever size you need it to be. So mine can be 4 inches wide, and 3.5 inches tall is fine. So now I have a design that works. So that was really quick and easy, right? So now the next thing that I need to do is choose a machine. And I am going to be using the Maker today, although this would be a fantastic project for the Joy or for the Explore. So whatever machine you have, this would be a really simple and easy project for that. Okay, and so the next thing that I want to do, oh, by the way, guys, I'm cutting this out in black. So, I mean, if you like everything to be, as it will be on the sheet. So we'll just change that to black really quick. So the way you do that, you click on the design and you go up into this color bar, and then you're able to change it there. Okay, so what we need to do now is we've already got our Maker identified, and then we can hit Make It. Okay, so my Cricut Maker is already attached or connected, so I can just go ahead and move on. Now remember, this is vinyl, not iron-on. So with vinyl, you don't need to mirror, because we're going to use transfer tape to move it from the mat over to the actual jar. So let's hit Continue. Okay, so now we can select our base material, and I'm going to be using just a premium vinyl, and so I already have that in my favorites, so I can just click this box and move on. But if you don't have favorites set up, you would go to Browse All Materials and then just scroll down to the vinyl section. Okay, so we're going to use premium vinyl. We need our fine point blade, which is already loaded in my machine. So let's go ahead and hop over to the craft table, and I can show you how to put the vinyl on the mat, and we'll cut it on the machine, and then I'll be able to show you how to move it with transfer tape onto your jar. Okay, so here we are on the craft table, and these are the things I'm going to use today. A green mat. I'm going to use my acrylic ruler. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. I use this, guys, to cut out all of my material just to keep everything straight. I have some transfer tape. I have black vinyl. And these are just my weeding tools. I do have a pair of scissors. And this is my bowl. It's kind of like a bowl jar. Now, I got this from Target. But if you wanted to go smaller, like this I got from the Dollar Tree, so for $1. I think I got this one, which is kind of like an oval. This would be great for like a ghost, like a long face kind of thing filled with marshmallows. I think I got this one from Target as well. And then if you wanted to go with like a really fun Frankenstein or something, you could do a square jar. So let's move everything out of the way and we'll go ahead and put our vinyl on our mat. Okay, so when I unrolled my vinyl, I have these remnant pieces, and so I'm big on using up remnants and things like that when I can. And so I went ahead and took my acrylic ruler and measured this, and I am in big luck because I need 4 1/4 by 4 inches. And so this piece is going to work perfectly for what we're doing. But if not, guys, this ruler is fantastic for being able to measure your materials in two directions and making sure that you get everything square and so that you do have nice remnants left over instead of, like little tiny pieces and parts. You can really save on material by using a good paper trimmer. And this acrylic ruler is what I use to measure all of my projects. I like to be able to see through it. So if you, go ahead in advance and measure your jar and all that kind of thing. Okay, so let's set this out of the way and we'll put our vinyl on our mat. And I like to use, sometimes you can put it down with your fingers, but I like to use my scraper just to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. Okay, and we'll go ahead and cut this out. Just put the mat underneath the feeds. And then select go as soon as it's blinking. So now that we have cut this out, we just want to remove it from the mat. So my best advice is always, always, always bend the mat and not the material. Came off pretty easy. And then we're going to take our weeding tool and just get out all the excess. And guys, just go slow. That's one of the most important things. Just go slow. I have some remnant transfer tape that has already been trimmed out, and I have used it once. And some people think you can't use transfer tape more than once. I have found that you can actually use it a few times as long as you keep it clean. So we're just going to peel it back from its backer. And then we will lay it on top of our design using your grids as best you can. And this is actually longer than I need, so I'm just going to leave that excess part with the backer attached. And then take your scraping tool and just make sure you have out all of your bubbles and you get to the edge of your design. Okay, and so now we will flip it over and peel away our backer. And if it ever does like that just did and wanted to pull up, you can always use the scraping tool and go over it again. But it's actually coming off great. Okay, so now with our design on our transfer tape, and if you notice, I have, my design is pretty well on the grids the way that it should be. And I am just going to look at my jar. I want the eyes to be just a little bit lower. Start with my nose and put my eyes in place. And I do really recommend that you cut these things like this out all at one time, just because, it's hard to see a design, when it's on a shape like this, and it's hard to get everything even. And so if you cut it all out together and you use the grids, you can better see how to apply it. And then what I suggest is putting your finger in the middle of the mouth of the jack-o'-lantern and putting it down, and then going out to each side of the edges. So let's make sure we have this eye in place. Okay, but we put that into the center and then work from the center outward. Making sure that you don't have bubbles and things. And just take your time. You can always take away the transfer tape on the top eye if you need to give yourself a little bit more flexibility with the mouth. Voila! Perfection! Look how cute that turned out. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now if you want to, you can fill this full of all kinds of wonderful orange candies, candy corn, and I have even attached actually a shorter candle holder, like the glass ones that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I attached one to the bottom with hot glue, and that turned out darling too, so it kind of gave you a pedestal effect. Okay friends, so what did you think? So that was pretty simple, right? And you can make jack-o'-lanterns like we did, or you could get creative and make other things. I have made a Frankenstein before and a ghost. I filled the ghost with marshmallows, and that one actually turned out really, really cute. So just make sure that you get creative and have fun with it and enjoy this crafting season. I love the holidays, and I think I have as much fun crafting as I do sharing it with other people. And so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my very, very best to get down in there and answer all your questions. And I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join me every week for new videos. And by the way, down in the description, I also have a link to my weekly newsletter. I do give out free cuts or free printables every week. They're only available for that week and then they go away. So I would love for you to be able to take advantage of that. All right, guys, have a great week. See you next time.